As I entered the hunger banquet, they assigned me a social class. That social class not only designated where I would sit, but what I would eat. Fortunately, I wasn't assigned the lowest class, but millions of people around the world aren't so fortunate.
The most useful thing is that it raises awareness for a lot of people. And plus, there's such a visual effect here when people come and they sit down and they're either in the tables and looking down at all the people and realize, well, that's the position we're in as Americans, or they're on the floor and they get a taste of what it must feel like to be trapped and not be able to climb up.
The whole idea is to see how it feels to be born into an economic situation by chance, given that no one else has the option of choosing where they are born. 10% of those that went to the hunger banquet were assigned to the highest class and were served an elegant meal. This reflects how 10% of the world's population controls 80% of the wealth. 20% sat on seats and tables and got to eat pizza. The people sitting on the floor represented 70% of the people in the world that live in poverty, which means that they earn less than 911 American dollars per year.
Some people know what the hunger banquet is, and so they're kind of expecting to not get food, but other people come here and they sit on the floor and they see like people eating elaborate meals and they get a little plate of rice and beans, and some people are a little upset because they came here thinking it was a banquet.
That's the point.
I guess I was supposed to sit on the floor because we're in the class that has the least amount of money, right? But it's very good because it makes us more aware of the poverty that there is in the world, understand a little better the situation of those who aren't as fortunate as we are.
One of the ways they presented their message was through dance.
We make a lot of noise.
The dancers come and they dance within 6 big circles made of rope, and they, like, through their movement, show us that they're trapped inside of these circles that are supposed to represent like oppression and how they're trapped inside. And I think that like towards the end they start breaking out, and one particularly like breaks out and throws the rope away, and she goes in and unleashes everyone else and helps them get out. And they're like, when they come out, they're like really weak and falling over, and they help each other out. And I think that that's the idea we're supposed to walk away with.
Some volunteers were dressed up to represent greed and corruption, to show the participants how these two concepts hinder the progress of the lowest classes.
An example of corruption would be going up to some of the higher income people and asking them to give some food to the poor, but then eating it myself. That's a good example of the way corruption works in the world.
The money that was collected from the hunger banquet goes to help different organizations that fight against poverty.
Yes, there are many organizations that apply for the money. We have departments that analyze all the applications, but all the money is given to organizations.
And although the majority of the participants ate little and spent the time sitting on the floor, their faces and smiles reflected how much fun they had as they learned a valuable lesson. For Window to the World, I'm Joshua Molina.